Update everybody. We are planning a camping trip on August 13th, 14th, and 15th. Now people are invited to attend. Most of these people have some expertise or have a knowing about certain things that happen out in the forest and the wooded areas. There are other creatures out in, especially around here, the Calmation Mountains, Antlers, the Ouachita Mountains, and on up. This is a place where a lot of missing people are or have been taken. This camping trip is for friends to, get together and talk about certain things that are not the normal conversations. Now, there are other trackers, of course, out there. There are other people who have been researching the Bigfoot predator. But we are experts at this. We are experts at the Bigfoot predator. Like these maps behind me, they do have the Bigfoot predator in those. And these are the Aztec sunstones. The Egyptian Dendra zodiac also has the Bigfoot predator in the making and the origins. But we have the true story of the Bigfoot predator's origins. Its purpose here, what it is, its DNA structure. The blood type does vary. It will be inconclusive, but it will vary because the DNA comes from people that they eat. So when a Bigfoot has an offspring, that DNA is transferred. So you'll get different kinds of DNA. It may say Asian, American Indian, African. They'll all be in there because a Bigfoot is a mixture. Now, do not listen to people who guess. We're experts. A lot of people guess at the Bigfoot predator. A lot of people who guess cannot read these hieroglyphs. They cannot read the map of the universe. They cannot break down the Fibonacci sequence. They do not know what the flower of life is. The Ojibwe sky map, the manuscripts, the hieroglyphs. They can't read the symbols. So when you get to a other location that deals with the Bigfoot predator, the people who don't know are watching shows like Harry and the Hendersons. The people who do know that these predators are dangerous, vicious, man-eating, and child-stealing. They do mate with people if they can. These predators are pretty much everywhere. 9 times out of 10, people will tell me they've never seen one. But if you know that people are programmed and that their routine is to get up, have breakfast, go to work, have lunch, go back to work, get off work, pick up kids, go to a football game, go watch a movie, go on a date, go home, early time, 10 o'clock, go to bed to get up and start the same day over again. Well, the Bigfoots don't have a schedule like that. And the Bigfoots will watch to learn your schedule. So when you go to bed, that's when they come out. That's when they're right in front of your house, walking around, scaring your dogs, stealing your dogs, eating your dogs and cats. But they watch you. They mimic you. Now, if you hear a voice or some call, a scream, a cry, a call for help in the woods, know that that is a very vicious predator. That predator learned how to scream for help, how to mimic a child, how to make a scream. The way it learned, it had a subject to learn from. So when you hear those things, that's a very vicious predator, and it's looking for blood. It's looking for food. And if you can hear it, it's already spotted you. So don't listen to any other Bigfoot people. And you can ask many of them. They all know me. Most of them don't like me. I've been kicked off of every Bigfoot page, from Bigfoot Odyssey to Tracking Bigfoot, basically any top Bigfoot page, only because I know more than they do. But my knowledge is far superior than theirs. And as you can tell, if you can read hieroglyphs and know the ancient stories, then you have the advantage over everybody. Because not many spend the time searching to know or to learn everything about this earth. Most only know what they're taught, what they've learned in school, what they've heard on YouTube. You got a lot of YouTube Bigfoot enthusiasts, I guess you would say. Can't use the word expert with these guys. None of them know. And if you listen to them, you'll know they have no idea of what they're doing. You know, if you hear people say, that could be, maybe, should be, might be, I heard, someone told me, these people have no clue to what they're doing. If they ask for your opinion, if they shoot a question to you, they're only looking for an answer to use with their answer to make it seem like they do know more. Don't listen to these kind of people. If they use those words, don't listen to them. But we are planning a camping trip. August 13th, 14th, and 15th. Now, like we said, this is not a Bigfoot expedition. We're going camping, but we also have a ceremony that we have to do. Now, this ceremony and the exact place where it has to take place is in the location of many missing people. It's also in the location of a lot of Bigfoot sightings. So, for the people who may be enthusiasts or curious or want to know the truth, we will be sharing all this either live streaming or we're going to videotape a lot. Camera's going to be everywhere. But the day before we go into camp, we're going to have a small camp to teach each other the protocols that we're going to be using. For one, there's not going to be any campfires like you see all these trackers and Bigfoot people do. Nobody's going to be making a sound. There's not going to be any wood knocking. There's not going to be any talking. Now, we will allow people to have their phones with them, but we got to have a cover for those phones so the light doesn't shine so much. If we need to talk, we're going to be talking with phones, sending texts to each other, or messages. Our night vision cameras will be up, our infrared, our thermals. Everything will be there that we need. We're going there for a ceremony. We're not expecting anything, but we do know the situations, we do know the territory, and we do know that it's occupied right now. But then again, these creatures, these predators are on the move. They're moving closer to towns now. Since the COVID-19 virus has come around, the Bigfoot predators have been able to move into new locations, new hunting grounds. If you do a search on your areas, and if you find any sightings, also look at the wildlife, the game. Check the records of the tags brought in from the deer season. Ask people about the hog population. Of course, you're going to have some people who say, oh, we've got plenty of hogs over here. Okay, that's fine. That just means that the Bigfoot is not in your area right now. They don't just live in one area. They move from place to place. Some do have structural homes, which are dens and caves, burrows. They like to burrow underground in their trees. But they do move. They do move when the water rises. It floods the burrows. They move. But this camping trip we will all know what we're doing. We'll all be on the same page before we go in. Everybody will be prepared and preparing for the very worst. We always hope for the best. We always say prepare for the worst, hope for the best. But when you're prepared for the worst, you're prepared for any and anything that might happen. There will not be one surprise because we are ready for that. We'll go over every situation that might happen, how we're going to defend, and then go on to the offense. We're going to share all this with each other before we go in. Too many people that we see, they're talking all the way through their videos. They're making noise when they walk. They're not watching what they're doing. Now, even though the Bigfoots do spot people quickly, you can always still get into certain places without them even knowing. I've had Bigfoots walk up on me because they didn't know I was there until they knew I was there. So I'm going to share all this with you. There's some friends coming in from other places. There's some local friends that are going to be here also. And so we're going to invite a couple extra people who may want to attend. And like we said, we will be streaming this if we do run into certain situations. We do want to have this on video so that people do see what we're doing and where we're at and what's going on. But you can contact back here through this Facebook page, the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers, and surrounding areas. Or you can send a message to me, or also on the YouTube page, Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch at gmail.com. That'll be on Facebook as well, under my name, Jerry Williams. And we will be having more updates for you. But we do want to, or wanted to let you know that we're planning a camping trip less than a month, about 2 weeks from now. There are some other people who wanted to go, who's contacted before. but it was never the right time because it was never the right people. I don't just go into the woods with just anybody. I don't go into the mountains to play. I'm also a tracker. I have a tracker school. But I don't just teach tracking. Like I tell everybody, tracking is easy. Anybody can track. But if you don't know the language of the wind, the language of the birds, the language of shadows, how to protect your mind, how to shut out the world, then you can run into situations that you have never even thought of. But I do teach these at my tracking school camp as well. I do teach weapons training, quick fire, tactical training, individual and multiple. But whenever we do teach the tracking school camp, it's very rigorous. You're going to be really, put to the test. You're going to be exhausted. You still got guard duty. When it's time to sleep, you sleep. That's all the time you get. Each person has a different time. And when you're back on guard duty, you better be fully awake. You're protecting everybody. All this is going to be happening pretty soon. There's other things going on right now. I have linked to other Bigfoot organizations and group pages on Facebook, and I'm seeing a lot of things that I don't like on those pages, but it's not my page, so I'm just kind of watching right now. But on the Bigfoot page that I do have, which is Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, in parentheses, antlers and surrounding areas. That's on Facebook. But from the get-go, I told people, unless you have a first-hand experience, don't send or link or put things on that page that you do not have proof yourself. Everything that I put on that is proof of things that I have witnessed. I've been sharing knowledge of these ancient ways for many years. I'm an expert at what we do. I'm an expert at many things. And the Bigfoot Predator is one of those things. There are other creatures out there. I'm experts on those. I know how they move, how they look, what their purpose is. So whenever I hear other people talk about certain creatures and certain things they try, I either laugh or just say, I hope you make it back. There was another expedition that was supposed to be going on, but I don't know if they went through with it. And that was also in a very dangerous area. But from what I understand, one of the people got hurt beforehand and it was canceled. Which to me, when things like that happen, that's just our energy. So something was supposed to happen there. Except a certain person got hurt before, so they couldn't go. So that took out that situation. They were protected that way. I just don't know what to think about all these other people who comment and talk about Bigfoot. I do understand that if you got first-hand experience, that you do have more knowledge than other people. But you're still missing a whole slew of knowledge. Only I can teach this. There were other knowledgeable people of this, but I really only knew of one. But he had passed many years ago, But luckily he left some information behind for us today. But I look in all the old books, all the ancient manuscripts. I've taken advice from international advisors. I've listened to some of the most knowledgeable medicine people or sorcerers in the world. But I always knew more than them. Every one of them, I still knew more than them. But I'm not the only one in the world who knows all these ancient languages and information. It's just that people keep that information for what is about to happen. A lot of people don't listen to me, and they can't fathom the knowledge that I have, so they don't want to converse. Like I said, I've been kicked off of every Bigfoot group page, from YouTube pages, and I have, like I said, linked up with some other Bigfoot group pages on Facebook right now. You can tell that there's a lot of people on there that has never seen a Bigfoot, has never seen multiple Bigfoots. And so whenever I hear people ask for proof or, something stupid like that, you can't give them proof. Even if they see a picture, even if they see a video, they're going to question it. But they're too scared to go into the woods. So that's also another thing. If you by chance are one of these people who always ask for proof, always question pictures and video, we're going to be camping in these certain areas, and we're going to be having a few tracker friends and people who has had experiences with these Bigfoot predators. So we're going to be thinking differently. And when I say a camping trip, I don't mean like normal people would go camping. We're not going to be cooking out. We're not going to be having fires, radios, no drinking, no smoking, not even cigarettes, anything. And when we eat, we're going to eat away from camp, and we're going to come back. Or we'll just have dry goods and water. Nothing that carries a scent. So, this is also a little tidbit for the people who always ask for proof. I always ask for, or question the pictures and question the videos that people send in of these creatures. That you can go camping with us, as long as you do exactly what we say. I've even had people want to be used as bait just because they wanted to see them. And I told them, you don't want to be used as bait, because you're giving yourself to them to eat. So we would either have to kill every one of them, which is still not a problem, or this person would be terrified beyond belief. A lot of people are when they first see them. They do have like a human face, but they're all predator. That facial structure is just to get closer to you, to get your guard down. And when they get close enough, they will take you. And that's why we have a lot of missing people. But I have found missing people, I've found murders. I've been hunted myself for doing all this, for finding murders. But it's something that we do. I also have a group page called the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman and Son Center and Database. And we do track for missing people, but not someone who's reported missing. Not the people who's going off to parties or joyriding or hopping a bus to California or someplace like that. That's not what we consider missing. We consider people missing when they disappear from a campground, from a hiking trail, from a picnic, from a roadside stop where they are supposed to be at. That's people we track for. But I did want to share this with you. I did want you to know that we are going camping, and if you have any doubts, if you don't believe, if you want to know, you're welcome to come.
When the time I arrived to see you found me. I've been searching on you, changing for my life. Oh, I never choose a lie. I would rather pay the price or have a seen like. Yeah, I mean anything I have. Calling me crazy, going off scotty, driving out my spotlight. Rolling with the thing when you try to be the only thing I know. I hold this, but you let go my soul so easy. I'm falling. Darkness breaks the quiet, come inside. My heart's beating. Truth is there was none. Cold, I was never found. Gun is a shooting gun. Kills, it's fucking over me. Truth is there was none. Cold, I was never found. Gun is a shooting gun. Kills, it's a fucking over me. I'm down with a little bit of my friend. I'm down with a little bit of my friend. I'm down with a little bit of my friend. I'm down with a little bit of my friend. I'm down with a little bit of my friend. I'm lost with